Hi, my name is Courtney and this is baby Oliver, and today's video is all about feeding a cleft baby and all about the bottles. So this is how we feed Oliver. He's almost 9 months old, and as you can see, he has a preference on the position of the bottle. We definitely never pointed the bottle up this high until he will jam it up and put it where he likes it. And even still, sometimes he can't keep up with the flow. But this is the easiest way, let's call it ergonomic way to feed him. There's really not much happening as far as holding him goes. This is the most sustainable way of feeding. When he was a newborn, they have no neck control. They have no stomach muscles. It's basically a sack of potatoes. So I'll insert a video here of how we fed him then, how the nurse fed him. And you'll see that doing it the way that they were showing us in the hospital, it was exhausting and we were tired. Our arms were tired by the time we got home, just in like the 3 days we were in the hospital. So this is the way it works. As long as you have a chair that sits upright, you don't want to recline. The more you recline, the more the baby reclines. The baby needs to be as upright as possible. So what we ended up doing, I got this chair. This is a nursery chair specifically for the baby. It has a recline feature. We got it at Target. I love this chair. We now use it in our living room for now to feed the baby. But I had issues with a bad tap, they say it's called. And so this chair has a lumbar support right where it was rubbing on my back, and it was terribly uncomfortable. So we ended up with another chair in our bedroom, and that chair actually has higher arms, and so it was easier for me to pump and feed the baby at the same time, which might be something that you need to get good at as well. So as you can see, he's right between my two breasts, right? So then you just hook up first and pump while he's feeding. And then the other thing you can do, I'll put the legs up. So you put the legs up and then you set him sideways. Now when he was smaller, this is a lot easier. For me, this was the easiest way to feed while I was pumping, excuse you, is to set the baby between your legs and have him kind of rest on your leg. And they'll recline when they're littler. Oliver likes to be upright. So even now, see, he'll lean back, he knows the drill. And you sit here and you feed him while you're hooked to the pump. So you can use your forearms to kind of keep the pump bottles on. And you sit here and you feed him. Now what worked best for me is to mimic, because I breastfed, it's important to keep your milk supply up in the beginning. I kept my milk supply up until about a month ago, I think. So I was pumping every 2.5 to 3.5 hours, like clockwork. And so the baby, if you let the baby lead, so to speak, when the baby's hungry, then you pump. If you do them together, then you'll always know that your milk supply will match what your baby needs to eat. So, hi, you know what's going on, huh? So you can see Oliver is much stronger and bigger now, and he knows what to do. I mean, he knows when I sit him here, he would protest a little in the beginning, and then once he figured out that he's going to get a bottle, then he'll just sit here, I'll get hooked up, and then I'll start feeding him. Unless he was like really starving, but that was very rarely did he sleep long enough to become that hungry. So the older he got too, we are able to feed him in the car. That was something that we very much avoided in the first probably 3 months or so. During all the times to go visit the doctor for the NAM, he absolutely hated his car seat, and we didn't feel safe feeding him in the car because he would choke. He had an immature swallow reflex, so we were kind of terrified to feed him in the car for the longest time, because if he was choking and if an emergency arose and we were driving and we had to get him out of his car seat, obviously that would take a lot of time. But now he's good. He's on to solid foods, which we've tried finger foods. He's not quite there yet. He eats cereal. Which is good. We gotta give him little bites, otherwise it'll come out of his nose and then he'll sneeze and shoot it out of his nose and then it hurts him. And he eats baby cereal.
It's gotta dissolve in his mouth because he doesn't get the grinding up the food to swallow it.
Yeah, he doesn't understand solid food. Baby mush, baby cereal, and the little baby cereal rings that are dissolvable, like yogurt melts, that stuff, he's good with that. But as far as, I sliced up a banana and he looked at me like, what am I supposed to do? So I put it in his mouth and he didn't like it. So I have a feeling it's a texture thing because of the way that it feels inside their mouth. And here's a picture of Oliver's mouth so you can see. I mean, I couldn't imagine having food that far up into my nasal cavity, I guess. I can imagine that being sort of an uncomfortable thing. So Dr. Brown's actually has handles that we just discovered that you slip over the bottle. So as we're transitioning Oliver to a sippy cup, those handles will sort of hopefully make that transition easier. We're waiting for those to come in the mail, but those seem pretty cool. And they actually have a sippy cup valve, the part that goes in their mouth, that you can use. And so here you can see Oliver put the bottle up just a little too high and he choked a little bit. So I wouldn't say choking is something that goes away, maybe until after palate surgery, and even then I'm not sure. So you just need to be aware of what's going on. I wouldn't ever leave the baby by himself to feed himself. You still have to be supervising. Okay, I'm trying to take the bottle and he's holding it. Okay.
Oh, he just spit it all up.
Okay. Oh, right all over Mom too, and the blankie. So that's not uncommon for that to happen. He kind of leaned forward. A burp rag you're going to want to have around. There will be laundry, just like with any baby. Maybe just a few more burp rags. So burping is an important part of feeding the baby. You don't want to skip this step, ever. Not even now. I mean, he might not want to lay down though and be burped. But I think a good, you don't want to press too hard, but a good press. Sometimes when you stand up, you squeeze it in the right spot and he burps. Or a good deep pat, huh? There we go. Sometimes when they burp, they're spit up. So you probably always want to have one of these around and more washed and ready. Yep, because you probably will go through them pretty fast, huh? I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and we'll see you in the next video. Yay! Bye. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos. Get down. Get down. The cat wants to snuggle. Go on. Go. Go. I love you, sugar. Get lost. All right. Can we say goodbye? Like this? Bye-bye. I'm going to eat my hand. Oh, high fives. High fives. Don't eat me, don't eat me. What was that? So you still, even though he knows how to feed him, you still need to be aware. Should we go to the bathroom? So burping is an important. He's a little ham. You tell me all about it, baby.